What's going on, y'all? Fort Worth area, man. We're doing a reaction of 23 girls missing after a catastrophic flood hit summer camp, and this is out of Dallas, Fort Worth. So let's go ahead and hop into the video, man. Like, comment, subscribe, hit notifications so you're notified when I post.
You're watching
Young children missing
at 6.
We begin with the frantic search for the 23 young children missing along the Guadalupe River. The flooding happened in the middle of the night in several towns along the river.
People in Kerrville said the water didn't just rise, it swallowed everything in sight.
When you look out your front door and you see the Guadalupe River running, it'll wake you up, let me tell you.
This came at night when people were asleep in bed. Please pray for our community.
Young girls were evacuated by helicopter from a summer camp near the town of Hunt. In Kerrville, the water was so high, SUVs were seen floating by homes. We know at least 13 people have died in the flooding, but many more are missing.
We have seen video.
It seems to have been a lot of rain across the country lately. I'm not local to Texas currently at the moment. You know, I'm in Florida, but you know how Florida rains like it's nothing. You know, it's just nonstop, continuous. But I don't know. I'm not sure if it's in relation to any type of climate change. You know what I mean? But the patterns have been drastically different, I want to say. And I don't know. I may be kind of just talking out the left, but frequent rain. You know, even in places to where they don't have a specific frequency of rain, you know. Just to speak to that, I was in California for a little bit, and there was unusual rain patterns. You know, Cali's not a place that rains too frequently, obviously, from my understanding. And then when I went out there, I experienced it as well. Like, it's not, but during my time there was these showers that were just, I don't know, just out of the ordinary, so to speak. Even the locals would say that it doesn't rain like this here. So it seems to be a trend across the country.
Of boats, helicopters, and divers across the Guadalupe River. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says at least 20 girls are missing from Camp Mystic, and about 500 people are helping bring those girls home. NBC5's Allie Spilliards is in Ingram tonight, where one of the reunification centers has been set up. Allie.
Meredith, we are at Ingram Elementary right now. This is the reunification center specifically for the girls from Camp Mystic and their families. And you can see a lot of those families here gathered on the curb behind me, kind of in a waiting pattern. We've also seen pictures of people inside. And then I can tell you that parking lots and streets all over this small neighborhood are lined with cars that are bumper to bumper with families who have driven in from all over the state, some from North Texas, some from out of state, trying to see their children and get a chance to wrap their arms around their daughters. This evacuation process has been rather slow. We're told that the camp has a capacity to hold 750 people. And the problem is a lot of the roads in this area are impassable. And so they have been airlifting the girls out, evacuating by helicopter. Some have been coming.
Out of where? They're not detailing, like, what were they in a building, a cabin? The cabin got overflown. Are they, you know, safely hiked up in a tree? Like, where are they being airlifted from?
In via bus. We also saw a military vehicle earlier bringing those girls in the back. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick did announce just a few hours ago that more than 20 girls are missing. We know at least 2 are from Dallas, but the full list has not been made public, so it is possible that there are even more from our region. We know this camp and its brother camp, La Junta, are very popular with North Texas families. We actually spoke with a couple of parents from North Texas earlier, a mother whose son is a counselor at La Junta and a father whose daughter is one of these girls at Camp Mystic. Both said their children were accounted for, but they talked about the agony of trying to get information today and waiting to find out when and how they could be reunited with their children.
We heard from them how bad it was and that they were getting evacuated. And we saw pictures of Camp Mystic, could see them at 3 o'clock in the morning walking through water. It's scary. You know, it's, when you send your kids to these camps, you just pray nothing goes wrong. And then you hear of a historical flood that's going on. Your imagination kind of runs away with you. But, all you can do is have faith and just hope everything's going to be okay.
So it seems like a lot of the girls, so to speak, even maybe camp staff are stranded in the water itself. Maybe in some parts that are a little bit lower level. I mean, if they're mentioning SUVs are floating, that sounds like some very deep water. But point being is, they're not providing too many details. Like they say there's already 13 casualties. 20 plus girls are missing. From where? Are they not found locally to the cabin where they should have been sleeping? Has that been brushed away? Has that been swept away? I think this kind of information is helpful. I know a lot of times the media doesn't want to release particulars to the public, but I mean, when the police don't have hands and feet in every part of the country or every aspect on the grid, every point on the grid, that's why you have the public. The public, typically crimes get solved by eyewitness. People just being outside seeing things, maybe they could spot something, just be aware on the lookout. Multiple eyes, a multitude of eyes, I think would always help. But I think they're slightly limited with details, so I don't think they even have the details to release. But prayers out to the family first and foremost. But let's kind of see what those who are maybe I think
we were able to get some of those roads clear.
Never mind.
When the rain stops, then we have 10 buses ready to go in and pick up the kids, and we'll find a point and announce it at that time where you can be reunited with your child and hug them hard, because they're frightened.
Natural disasters, man. Some of these things.
Okay, you can see right now this military truck that I was talking about with who we assume are campers and counselors that came in just a few minutes ago. These are families who are gathering around again, waiting for their moment to be reunited. Back to those missing girls, Patrick did say earlier today that unaccounted for does not yet mean gone. He said there are 9 state teams here with 500 people on the ground. There are helicopters and drones continuing to search. He said they are checking under every rock. They are checking the trees because there were accounts of campers hanging from trees at one point. Anywhere where someone could
see, that's what I mean. Like, of course, you would climb up to the highest point, right? Or you'd be on top of a building. Or you could, I don't know, anything stationary that's above water level, right?
Still be holding on and waiting for help. The other big problem here is communication. Cell phone signal has not been strong. Wi-Fi has been down. On top of that, these campers did not have access to cell phones. So there is a hope still that with some of these missing girls that they just don't have the means right now to tell people where they are. We are going to be here on the ground. We'll continue to let you know what we see. Meredith,
unbelievable.
Brian.
Just the waiting. Allie, will you zoom in, have your photographer zoom in, if you could, to that vehicle as people are arriving? You see
back here.
Yeah, right there. Have you seen a lot of vehicles arrive? We're assuming these are folks that have been evacuated from right there, the shores of the Guadalupe River.
And they got Domino's delivering, man. They probably starving. If anybody knows in the comments, kind of mention how long this has been ongoing. Well, they said it occurred during the middle of the night, so you can only imagine several hours. Probably deliver Domino's, getting everybody something to eat.
Not far from where you are in Ingram, which is down the road from Kerrville, and you just see people kind of arriving with we don't know a lot, right?
Yeah, this is the first one of these vehicles we've seen. We've been driving from DFW all day, so we really just got on the ground, but we did see a lot of helicopters overhead, and then again we have seen a lot of families coming in. I know a lot of families were waiting to find out what the plan was before they got on the road because they didn't want to add any more chaos to the situation. Again, the roads here are small. Many were still covered by water, and so they were simply waiting to find out where they needed to be and how they could pick up their children. Yeah. But many are here. Again, these reunions are happening, and I'm I'm sure they will continue to happen through the day and probably into tomorrow as well.
Right. And have you been able to talk to people inside Ingram Elementary? I know those.
Well, a devastating situation, man. A lot of these like natural disasters, right? Nature is a force in its own. You can't control, you can't predict. These things occur, and it's like, man, forced to be reckoned with. Prayers out to the family, to the friends, those closest to the girls lost. You know, prayers out that they're found safely and returned home, man. I pray for each and every single one of y'all going through the hard time. Pray for the families. Pray for the missing girls. And, you know, pray they get returned home safely, man. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless. We'll see you on the next video. We out.